Okay, Madhvit want to take some more questions. I have a dilemma. I want to support and teach them things without giving patterns. Yes, my patterns is whole new thing. Madhvit is just going to talk, but getting confused at times. How do I find the root in me? Find the root in me is the insecurity, fear, or what? She's telling them to do their small chores, is it wrong? Like picking up their plate, putting it away. No, give them all that. See, give them what we do. There is nothing wrong. But give them the space for doing it. Give them the time and space for learning to happen. They took 1 year to walk. Don't expect them to do it overnight. Only if we expect that, then we start conditioning. We don't stop with telling them how to do things. See, they are very interested to know how an adult functions in this whole planet Earth. They are very curious. But give them the space of happening. Each one takes, for example, a child who is talking at 10 months will not be walking. A child who is walking in 10 months will not be talking. Their brain takes only one command and slowly starts executing. They know very well they have to talk, they have to walk. But both of them, if you see at the age of 5, will be talking and walking. But who gave that 4 years? We gave. We are ready when they are small to give them lots of space to learn, because we think they are small and they need to learn. But when they are 5 years, we don't give them the same time for them to become 10 years. We rush them. We rush them so badly. Now you have to learn to write. Now you have to do this. Now you have to do that. No. That is where the problem starts. We start giving choices. That you have to now go wash your hands, you have to, and we expect them to do it the very same day. That is also very difficult for them to understand. They cannot do everything in the defined time that you are giving them. They don't understand that. Facts is something where you tell them, see, this is where the plates are kept, this is where we take the food, and this is how we take the food and we eat. But if they don't want to do that, give them the space of trying out different possibilities, then finding their own way of doing things. Then you're giving lots of space and possibility to happen. They'll be very creative in the way they even eat. Meal is served, lunch are made, teen complains and don't eat. Maybe start eating more and more snacks. Exactly. Because we have taught them snack is good food. It is tasty. It is making us happy. Who taught that? We, the adults. Again and again, especially the parents. Parents have very strong connection than the friends or family, anybody. The parents say it happens because when they were 1 year old, only you were there. When they were 2 year old, only you were there. There was no friends. So your connection is done the first. So whatever connection happens after that, it is only the second or third. It cannot be the first connection. And they give priority to the first connection. So you always have an upper hand to whatever happens in the world, even if they are teen or more than that. Even though they are not listening, they are having the first listening to you only. So you don't have to worry about that at all. Then only comes the other listening in their life. So they complain, they do all this is because you have groomed them like that. So now give the fact of what happens to their body when you started eating snacks when you were young, and then you think life is about something happening outside you. That's why you think snack is great. If you think life is about something happening inside your inner space, how you were when you were a 5-year-old, inside space is more important than outside space. That's why they can live anywhere, do anything. Now, outside space is important than inside, like an adult. So, snacks is important to them. In Gurukul, again and again and again, we reiterate to the children that inside space is more important. They cannot hurt their inner space at any cost. So, they don't even pick up other snacks. They only take care of the body because they know that makes them more happy. They don't use the snacks because that is only giving them attachment, which is suffering. They are very clear. You have to make them very clear to understand everything. Choice is suffering. Anything you choose. Even the discourses, Swami says, even if you choose Swamiji as a choice, you will be missing out what he is even telling. You should be out of more than a choice, as a responsibility. We are with Swamiji as expanding our cognition and then taking responsibility for ourselves. That's why we are with Swamiji. Not out of a choice. A choice has a reason. Choicelessness, responsibility doesn't have a reason. Possibility doesn't have a reason. There can be a no possibility with a reason. The minute you have a reason, you have a choice, and that is suffering. That means you are not listening to life. You are already closed. You are already shut down to life. Is that answering you, Ma, the question where you said when you have teens who have already had their space of possibilities shrunk? Teens are not, space is not shrunk, Ma. They are just in the space of trying out their new patterns. It's like they are trying out their new shoes. And they're saying, okay, these are the shoes that is given to me. Let me start wearing it and seeing how life is. They can always drop the shoes. But we can't drop it. It is like iron shoes with iron rod tied to our legs. Now we need somebody to bring a saw, break it open. For a teen, it is still a shoe which is just there. They can either make it frozen after some time, or they can let go a shoe, taking out the shoelace. That's all we need. Meal our issue. So you give them very clear idea. Is this going to make you happy? First you have to make them in the space of where they were as a child. You can bring back their memories as a child, taking a book album where you have as a child, they have owned a girl's dress, a boy has owned a girl dress, or they had done some funny things in the mud. Everything was beautiful at that point. Remind them where they were. Life is beautiful only if your inner space is a possibility and gives you happiness. Your only view of life is your inner space. That you being happy is more important than you even shouting at somebody, than you getting angry, upset, greedy, jealousy, anything. Your more inner space is more important, being happy. So you will not even do anything else. That's why a child as 3 years doesn't know what is jealousy, what is anger. It doesn't know. Only because we leave the inner space and go out of our house and go to the outer space thinking life happens there. And initially the children think that's a way to live. Because society lives like that, I also have to live only like that. And nobody tells me the way I am is correct. I cannot make mistakes. So I have to live like what adults do. Put a rule and sit inside that. So obviously, my life is difficult. So snack is good because that's what I learned. So immediately they will catch if you teach them what is a possibility, what you can be, and anything will become reality in front of you. Why won't they understand? They'll really understand. The kids, especially teens, are waiting to be something extraordinary all the time. They don't want to be ordinary like us. So you tell them what will happen if you start expanding in your cognition. They will surely listen. And don't expect result overnight. First get the space, get connected to the space of where they are. So far we've been only talking to them from where we are. Go to their space and tell them how they were. So important their life is being happy. Now they're only living for society, not for themselves. They've forgotten how to live for themselves, and that is going to leave them to an incompletion space. So go on talking to them, and after some time you'll see them talking to their friends about all these things. That's when you know very clearly that they have understood what you want to convey. And they will start getting experience. And then give them about 6 months, 1 year, whoever wants to take whatever time. Snack is not the problem. The space is the problem. If you give them the space where they have to be, everything will be solved. Not only snacks, their studying, their way of living, them going and doing yoga, them going and taking up a meditation class, everything will happen. Because they know in a space, I can go beyond mind, I can do so many things. I don't have to go by this mind which is just putting me into a space of only some possibilities. Okay, we have one more question from Bodhanamma. Madhvit started reading it from half. Okay. I understand that if we give the kids fact from the beginning and not choice, the space of possibility would include responsibility. No, they are still a child. What do they know at 15 years, 16 years? They have just tried your space. And they think, okay, you live it, so they have to live it. Because nobody told them, just one thing nobody told them, where they are correct. Where they are, it is perfect. Nobody told them. That's why they come to our space. Do you understand, Bodhanamma? They have never been told where they are brilliant, they are geniuses. Just because they make few mistakes, they don't have to come to our space. They can just be where they are. And it's very easy to correct those small kiddos. They just start listening. That's why when teens get connected to Swamiji, it becomes very easy, very powerful. Because they immediately step out and start being where he wants them to be. As simple as that. From Calgary, Amarnath, we have one question. One parent. Enough to give kids freedom for possibility, while one parent prefers controlling and presenting choices. Ma, perfectly okay. Even one person in the world tells them life is a possibility. Kids will only go for the best things. They are very smart and very intelligent to pick up where they should pick up. We had one child, very strange family, where the parents, father, is very abusive and he does all kind of things. And the mother goes on talking about spirituality. So the child is very intelligent now to know what not to do and what to do very clearly. Because the child chose the spirituality as lifestyle. Because she knows she can do anything and she can be a leader following spirituality. Then her father trying to give her everything. Her father is very connected. But he doesn't believe in any spirituality. He does whatever possible and however possible he wants. But still child knows exactly what to pick up because they are very intelligent. Their brain is not conditioned. So they are very intelligent. So they pick up the best and they start acting on the best. And really, that's what children are. They always choose the best for themselves. We have one more question from Vancouver. Can you add ethics and responsibility in their space? Ma, we don't have to add responsibility. They are by nature responsible only because they have to survive in this space. It's like you are left in Japan in the airport and you don't know, you have an address but you don't know who to talk, how to talk, what cab to take, which is less expensive, how to go, where. You don't know anything. Then what happens? You're very responsible. You just need to give that kind of a space to them. You don't have to do anything else. They will just learn the ethics, they learn responsibility, they learn everything because they have to survive in the world of adults. When they pick up responsibility, they will pick up with their inner space of making sure they are happy of whatever they do. All we need to do is, we just need to be authentic to our inner space. If we are authentic to our inner space, we will not try to discipline them. We'll only give the space of responsibility happening in them. Only then we'll be able to bring them into a space where they don't form patterns. We start giving them conditioning, then we start giving them patterns. And then we say, oh my God, they are like this, they don't like that, they want to eat only this, they want to have movie all the time, they want to have video game all the time because we lost them where they should be. It's like a lost child. We have one more question. Ma, what is the effective way to support a teen who continuously feel guilty over everything and suffers? I know I'm responsible for a lot in this, but now how can I help? Yes, ma, just the whole thing, you guys coming to parenting session itself and understanding how Swamiji grooms his children itself tells you you are wanting to move to the space of listening and where the child happens. Child is nowhere in the space of adult. Where a child is, if you start giving the listening, it will be beautiful. The guilt the child starts happening is because they are told not to make mistakes. Because he has not made mistakes in his life. Mistakes were always threatening for him. Mistakes were not a learning curve for him. That is why your child feels guilty. It is very sad that we expect the child to correct their errors while we don't correct our patterns. Even for ages, we keep getting angry. How many of us can just drop the anger and walk out and say, anything is okay, everything is okay in my life, everything is beautiful. This anger is not useful to me, so I don't want to drop it. How many of us can say that? No, we cannot. We live and suffer with that even though we know anger is only making us suffering. So same way, we have given this guilt to the child is only because we have not let them to make mistakes. But if you have that listening for the child, then each mistakes could have become a great learning for him. Today the mistakes, tomorrow the leadership happens. Only by mistakes, only by conflicts, we learn life. If there is nobody to tell us, then we'll never learn life. So ask him where he can be free of making mistakes. Start from there. Ask him what you can do for him to happen in the way he wants to happen and learn life out of that. Don't expect kids to not make anything wrong. We are all constantly making things wrong only. Out of wrong, we do one thing right and then we understand life. It is not out of right we do one thing wrong. No. We are constantly making ourselves more difficult to live. Because we don't have. Now that Swamiji is there, we know how to live right also. Constantly, every moment he will be aligned to what he has to do. Can we be like that? Constantly, he'll never say, oh my God, I have to work 20 hours a day. No. He is constantly being in the space of leadership to happen. Living around him is extraordinary because he expects everybody around him to live like that, because he knows that is not suffering, that is liberation, freedom. Because of freedom, he works out of like that. But because of suffering, we will be working. If somebody asks us to work 22 hours and sleep only 2 hours, what we'll say? Oh my God, that person is something wrong with that person. But if you enjoy life so much, will you get out of party? Will you go to even sleep? No. You have so much fun and you have an option not to sleep. Will you sleep? No. It's like that for a child. A child is constantly happy, but they constantly make mistakes. And as far as it's not dangerous, let them do it. And tell them how they could have done, which is making them more happy. Only in terms of making them authentically happy in their inner space, you can talk to them. You cannot talk to them that this is better and that is better and this option is better and that lifestyle is better. No. You can only talk to them where it is making their inner space expand. Is this cognition expanding you? If this thinking is expanding, that is making you more happy and further in future is going to make you more happy, then you take it up. Otherwise, don't take those things into life. Drop it right there. If you think a kid blaming you, a child blaming you, shouting at you, is going to make you upset, then sit and think, why somebody blaming is making me upset? Because you don't want to share your space for somebody to be upset with you. That is why you have a deep down area in you where you say, how can they do this to me? Because you think they are not part of you. For example, if you have in your leg a wound, you don't stop walking, you still walk, right? But your leg doesn't say that, oh, how can you make me walk? I am hurt today. Let's sit down. Your leg doesn't say that. It just works with you. If somebody is upset, you have to sit with them more. You have to give them the space more. That is what is important. We never do that. When we get hurt in our leg, we are so careful about the leg. But if somebody is shouting at us, we get angry with them. How dare you shout at me? Why would somebody shout? Because they are suffering in the inner space. But where the leg is hurt, we really take care of the leg. And the leg also walks for us. We don't fight with it. So are you able to, Madhvi has to give you experience as a learning, not example as learning as knowledge. That's why Madhvi is finding it so difficult. The experience that how you take care of your leg, that is how humans are. So you have to take care of them as a space happening to you, yourself. So you have to be very patient to fix that. Not shout back and break the leg and throw it. You don't say, oh, you got hurt, I want to break you and throw you because you're no longer part of my team. You got hurt. What is the use of having you here? We don't say it like that. If somebody is behaving badly, we just throw them out of our whole space where we are. And we teach this also to the child. Because we keep on choosing, we keep on forgetting our responsibility, our space, and confused we are where we are. Is it okay to appreciate kids? Say, I'm proud of you. Yes, appreciation is excellent as far as, again, the whole thing goes to, are you appreciating their responsibility, taking responsibility of their inner space happening, or you're appreciating their outer world achievement? Their outer world achievement need not be appreciated. That is not an appreciation to do anything good for their life. Again, you are telling outside world is where life happens. No. Whenever they are very authentic to their inner space, making sure they are taking responsibility of their inner space to be happy, instead of getting angry if somebody is shouting at them, and solving the problem for others, being there for others, if they are doing that, then you can appreciate. Appreciation itself has to happen only from the inner space. Life happens only in the inner space. Spirituality or leadership, everything happens only in the inner space. There is no outer space which is going to give them anything good. That they have to be very clear. More and more we reiterate on that, then it's perfect. Madhvait has one more question from Chandravimlama about punishment, disciplining. Is it okay to give punishments? See, punishments are okay. Punishments are okay where you have a learning happening. Like we say, instead of punishment, we use the word prayaschitta, right? The word prayaschitta means we take more responsibility to be authentic to our inner space to expand. That, if you're giving as a punishment, you call it a punishment, that is okay. But if you give them unreasonable, like no reason punishment, then it is useless. Like you have to do sit-ups 100 times because you spilled the milk. No, it doesn't make sense. It's only putting me into suffering because it doesn't make any sense. And then I have to just do it for my mom. It doesn't have any learning. Either the child will do it and just leave it, or it is going to be, the child is going to clearly understand that mother is making me do all this just out of her ego. So that is useless. If the child spills the milk, so give them a punishment that anybody spills anything, they have to wipe it. Then they will never spill their milk, and also they will warn others not to spill milk. Be careful, they will be telling others. So you have to understand again and again that the inner space, being authentic to inner space, integrity to what they are doing, making them responsible is very important. This is a practical lesson. There is no theory in this. You have to really practical, go execute this and see what happens, and start living in this space of where the child happens. Because a child does all decision like this. Am I happy doing this? Is it going to make my inner space really good? Then I just happen there. That's all. And then everything becomes a possibility for me. So if we are able to bring the same space into a teen, into the kids, everything will be solved. All other problems are just the on the top layer, which can just be taken off. It need not be the deep rooted pattern like what we are struggling with. That's only with adults. Till 15, 16 years, till they become really an adult, they don't have solid patterns. It's not solidified for them. It is just a new learning which they think has given us success, made us happy, so they also want to try it. That's all. For them, that's it. And is your questions answered? If you still think you are not comfortable with the answer, you can also mail Madhvait, ma.advait@nithyananda.org. Madhvait will respond to your questions. If you have more questions, we can always take it offline and we can always go ahead with your questions and we can answer it. And Chandravimla Ma has a question. So if your child speaks inappropriately to parents, usually parents, the usual punishment would be to take their computer away. Yes, don't do all that. Taking computer away, how can make the child understand their words are going to hurt? Instead, go and ask them to create a plant. Okay, put a seed and get the plant and ask them to use the same words on the plant. The plant will die. Then they will understand that words are very powerful. Give them an experiment where the learning happens. Taking computer away doesn't make sense. This is what a confusion starts. What will the computer do for them to learn about words? If they are abusive, using words are very powerful. They can show Dr. Emoto CD how words change life. And tell them one word. If I say bad to you, you're going to really feel hurt. One word of appreciation makes you feel good. One word changes the whole mental setup of you. So how important words are. Make them think. Make them understand where they are. Because you have used words or society has used words, they think using words is more fun. But no, it is hurting much deeper. Unconsciously, you're hurting something. The whole water crystal changes. And again reiterates, makes a pattern out of it. Madhvait is going to consolidate the whole thing. Today we spoke. Yes, of course, we started with all the video and Ustream and all that. So, finally, we started speaking about the space of a child. Space of a child is somewhere where the child happens, where the child is allowed to blossom into where they become as a possibility. They start becoming more and more beautiful each day, that they are so much thankful to the whole space where they are. Actually, a child is so happy and thankful to the mommy and daddy when they are small. But as they grow up, they forget all that. Because we start giving our attachment as the first idea. That you can be only happy if you get things, when things respond to you, when you judge and make careful decision which is yours, which is others. So we were in a space where we create as an attachment to happen. That we think they are a part of us. We don't think they are intelligence which has happened on planet Earth, which has going to expand as possibility tomorrow. They need their space. That is very important. If the space is not given to them, they will first not be able to groom. After we taking off the space by putting something called attachment, where we already are suffering. It is just a delusion, not even an illusion, a delusion called attachment. There is no such thing as attached. Because we are able to live, eat, do everything without them being with us 24/7. We cannot do that without our heart or lungs. We can be attached with heart and lungs because we need them. But we can be without our children for few minutes. Yes. So attachment itself is just a big delusion that we live with. Because by giving attachment, we make them suffer and we also suffer. We know how much we suffer when the kids are not with us. Because we miss the moment. We are incomplete without them. So we are suffering where we are. Let's not give that suffering to the children. Let's not take it to our children also. So give them the space to where they want and how they want to be in their life, and go ahead with the life where their life should happen for them. Because then their leaders means they have to go for ages and make something happen in that space. And they need that time and we need to be away for that to happen. Only we start them giving no attachment now, they will be able to do it without suffering. But otherwise they're always at the back of the mind, I know my dad misses me, I also miss him. They're going to be live with suffering. That is what is going to happen. The next thing we were speaking is about the choices. We go on choosing for them. This is right, that is right, this is not right. Everything with a reason. But what we need to do where they live is life as a happening, spontaneous happening with the facts. They are very responsible for taking and understanding the facts, what should happen and what shouldn't happen. They know the facts very clearly. This is my mother. Nobody has to tell them. They know that is a fact. They also follow the fact. When you give them for the space of responsibility to happen in them, when we start conditioning them, then comes the whole problem, because this is way we live, and anyway by body language we are going to condition them because we have our patterns. But let's not do the same to our children. Let them not live out of patterns, let them live out of completion. Very clearly, every day complete with them, again and again complete with them, and tell them where your pattern is and do not follow your pattern into their lifestyle. You have to complete every day with them, again and again reiterating they are a possibility for anything to happen. When you keep on saying that, you are giving a magic wand to them, that their life can be just created by them. That's what happens in Gurukul. And Swami just comes and says, everything is your possibility. You can do anything you want. And then just leaves them there for them to become really the possibility. They do not have an idea. Morning, if you see, they are doing the drums for the Arati. If you guys are connected to the morning satsang, what we have every day, we have a Arati session, and Gurukul kids from yesterday, they just started playing all the drums and all kind of instrument which I have never even seen. They just use it and they just express out of it. Of course, initially the coordination is less, so it avoids to be great. But still, Swamiji lets them do that is because for them to become a possibility, you have to let them balance themselves for a few days. After a few days, they are going to be extraordinary. But that few days of balance, the mother takes in the space and says, okay, you try, I will help you. You can start walking. So that is the space we need to provide. Not condition them saying, see, you can learn this keyboard because it will be useful. When you grow and you go into some contest, you can start playing keyboard. No, anything you pick up, you just start playing it. All you need to do is have fun with it. That's all. So that is where we have to give them responsibility of a possibility happening. Instead of giving them conditioning choices. Don't choose. Don't say, I know my child. We don't know. It's like saying, so I know Swamiji. His brain chemistry, even the medical science doesn't know. So we cannot understand a child. Child is expanding constantly. So we cannot understand. Only thing we can do is make sure their inner space is never hurt. They are never upset in their inner space. Inner world is the most important thing where life has to happen, and they know very well about that. They just have to stay there. They just have to stay till they become like 16 to 18 years. Then they will live like that forever. They know which is more important, which is more defining them. So this is what Madhvait want to say, and don't forget to complete with your children. So really thankful to each and every one of you who are here today to take these to your home, to your children and to your friends and family. Please share all this ideas, concept which has become your reality in Facebook so that everybody can understand and move forward with life, where life should happen. This is not something just for us. It's for everybody. Swami has given this gift. Let us all share it, how much ever we want, a 2-liner, a 3-liner, anything, please share. Because sharing and enriching is way of life for us. And Ma Chandra Vimala wanted to know about completion. Completion in very simple is a beautiful space where we are just defining that space. Only where we are. There is nothing more to expect in life. Where we are always completion. We have such gratitude. It's like gratitude is completion. Where we are. Every moment happened to us is a gift. Let's enjoy that gift. If I've done something away from that space, I want to complete that. I restore that next time. I will not move to that such a space to happen in me. That's all is completion. Again and again coming back to our inner space and enjoying that space to happen. That's all. And thanking each and every one of you. And we'll close by the chanting. Thank you each and every one of you. Yeah, you have more questions, you can always send a mail to Madhvait. Thank you. Nithyananda.
The eN-Genius program is designed under the guidance of Paramahamsa Nithyananda. The eN-Genius program is a vaccination for higher intelligence, creating the space of possibilities. The physiological and psychological chemistry of the child changes, setting them up for peak performance in health, academics, communication, and leadership skills. The initiation received from the incarnation rewires their brain, enabling them to the peak of possibilities. You will see amazing differences in your child after they attend the eN-Genius program. You will be pleasantly surprised and ask, is this the same child? In just 21 days, your child is a new being expressing the highest possibilities and intelligence, dropping all violence and anger. The enormous potential inside them begins to manifest externally in all activities they do, and that is when parents start seeing the hidden talents of their children expressing as intelligence in its various forms. You will see the difference in health in case of sick children and also be surprised with the results of special needs children, creating a new avenue for them towards an improved lifestyle. The eN-Genius program is a leadership program that is a must for every child to move into the new civilization. For the first time, introducing you to you as a new possibility of tomorrow.